YouTube pedal nerds and nerdines and nerdillas, nerdezzles, nerdilla sounds like Godzilla, nerdilla. I don't know. I don't have coffee. Why do I have a smoothie? Pineapple, banana, coconut. Let's drink that. Hey, welcome to a review that I was dreading because it's another one of those things where you have many things to hook up and control-y things and expression pedal possibilities and USB hook uppage to the computer rich with screenshotage and blah. So, yeah, but I just did the Hot Tone X Tomp, which is a pedal that can be many, many things, and you control it with Bluetooth and all this stuff. And those are difficult demos, but that seems to be something that companies are going for now, let's call it chameleon pedal, a pedal that can be more than the one thing that it looks like it is. But I was dreading this because I was thinking this is going to be complicated. Well, it's not, because Neunaber, or Neunaber, makes these, what are they called? The immersion? No, that's the oh my god, why don't I know what they're called? The Expanse series pedals. Oh my god, if you have a lisp, the Expanse series pedals. The Expanse series, I can't freaking say that. So, And they are very simple 3-knob pedals, and they look like nothing. You can see it right here. They look like, why do I spend 269 bucks on that? Yes, 269 euro for this black box here that looks like freaking nothing. And 269 euro for this wet stereo reverb, which looks like freaking nothing. 119, I think, for this little EXP thing with 2 switches on it. That looks, well, kind of cool because it goes colored. Everything with colors is more money, we know that. So, why spend the money on it? Well, because of its simplicity, because of its sound quality, and because of the dimension simplicity. So, here's the deal. You buy this Slate, which in essence is exactly the same as the Wet. The Wet simply has a drawing on it. The Wet comes pre-built in with a stereo reverb. But it can be a reverb, a shimmer reverb, an echo delay, a chorus, flanger phaser, or anything that they put in the software. So right here at the side, which you can't see, there's a USB input, and you can program the Wet to be anything you want, just like the Slate. So the Slate is simply an understated, no graphics version of the Wet that comes, let's call it empty. I actually don't know what it comes loaded with because I immediately started loading shit on there. So you plug it in with USB to your computer, no driver installation necessary. You install the little software gadget, the Expanse manager, whatever it's called. And then you just say, I like this effect. Update. And then it's on here. It's that simple. It's on here with 3 controls. No menus, no nothing. In the software, you have a chance to have 1 or 2 extra parameters if you want them. And we're going to look at that. But basically, 3-button pedal, 3-knob pedal, that's it. Now the EXP, the expansion or expander, whatever you want to call it, or Expanse, is way cool, which actually makes either of those pedals, you can even control several at the same time. I don't know how. So there's a Cat 5 cable in the back here. A short cable that plugs into the Slate. And what happens is, you see on the left effect, 4 different colors. You load this thing up with 4 different, completely different effects. So this can be a reverb, this can be a delay, it can be a chorus, it can be whatever the fuck you want. As long as they have this. And what I love about them is they're not copying known effects. They're not, here's an echoplex, here's a space echo, no, they're all Neunaber algorithms, and they all sound and behave like Neunaber effects, which are very digital kind of effects, and very lush, and very, very transparent. So, each of those 4 effects you can define, and each of those can have 2 presets, meaning 2 knob position savies. You could even then take an expression pedal, plug it into any of these 3 ports, and it's really that simple. Just take your cable, plug it into any of the 3 ports, and the one on the left will control the left knob. I mean, it's so fucking simple. The one in the center will control the center knob, so there's no menus. Depending on where you plug in, that's which knob you control, meaning you could control all 3 knobs if you have 3 expression pedals. Very cool is the preset morph, which simply means you plug in here, and then the expression pedal will morph between your 2 knob settings. All the way up, all the way down, whatever, and it will morph between them. So, what we do now is we go check out the software, load up some stuff in the Slate. We're gonna use the Slate with this reverb. We're not gonna change the Wet. We're gonna listen to the Wet. But just know that if you buy the Wet, you could do the same thing that you did with the Slate. Or if you combine them, it could be any combination of the effects that you are going to hear. And that's what we're gonna do now. So here we are with the guitar. That rhymes! And the software, and pedals on the screen, and I don't even know where all this goes. So, this guitar is a Quenzel M3. It's an absolutely gorgeous handmade guitar by Markus Quenzel here in Germany. And the nice thing is I can push this thing and have a very crystal single coil sound, which would be great for the cleans we're gonna run. Also, in front of these are in front of the amp right now. I have a KHDK Gold Screamer if you can see this right here. Just for some to be screamy overdrive. And I'm running them in stereo, meaning the wet, you can see stereo connection right here, but the wet is going out into a Dietzel Paul on clean and a Carl Martin Custom Shop 50 on clean. The Dietzel is running into a Torpedo Studio, the Paul is running into a Torpedo Live. Yes, quite the complicated setup, but that's how we like it. So here's my clean sound without anything. Or the single coily. Should I mention the Dadari NYXL balanced tension strings I have on here? Probably not, but I'm doing it anyway. They are pretty. So here's what's happening. I go to white, my first effect. In the software, I go to shimmer. I have the Seraphim A and the Seraphim B, which is their shimmer box, which again can be any of the Expanse effects if you wanted it to be. So I can go to B, let's go to B. And here you see the virtual trim pots. You can see that the effects knob will do level, reverb depth, and shimmer level. That's what the software tells me. But I can go and set up any of these parameters if I want that. But I have to update the effect afterwards. So this isn't updated continuously. What I'm going to do is now say update effect 1. It says updating. It's still updating. And yet still updating. That's it. And now I've got this on here. So let's say that's my preset 1. I go to yellow, greenish yellow, and give me less shimmer level, and generally more effect. Did you see how it morphed quick? A little bit, how the shimmer came in? That's beautiful. Now I have these two presets on my shimmer reverb. And I could even morph between them with my expression pedal. Let's try this. I'm gonna plug in my expression pedal and see how when I move the pedal now, it's actually the color of the LED is also morphing. That is beautiful. So those two sounds and everything in between. I'm satisfied. Apparently, when you have the morph plugged in, you can't switch between the two, which is bugging me a bit. Don't know if this is supposed to be the way, but okay, fine then. So I'm gonna go to 2, blue, and in the software, as you can see, it's saying update effect number 2, where I'm gonna put a delay. Accolon scatter. What is that? I don't know. I'm gonna say update effect number 2, and we're gonna check it out. That's what I had on there before. Fuck on, how beautiful is that? Of course, we can add some reverb to that because we have the wet here. They definitely have their fingerprint. They have their very It is a Neunaber sound, and nothing sounds like that, and it sounds like nothing. I mean, that's the only way I can possibly describe that. Very transparent and lush. And there's no German word for lush, which is weird. This is simply, how do they say this? Nothing short of amazing. Is that how you say that? I don't know. This is just, the Neunaber, I did the immerse, their reverb, standalone reverb, and they simply don't step on your guitar. This is a huge effect that I have, and it is absolutely brilliant. Want to check out a different? No, I just like that. I like that one. I don't think we need more. So now I can, of course, I set this up as my preset, and I can do something else. I think I gotta move over here, otherwise you can't see what I'm doing. Something like this. So now I can switch between those two presets. It is that simple and that cool. What do I have in here? I think a chorus. Yes, I actually have the, if you go to chorus, I have the quad chorus in here. So let's say I wanted another delay in there. Of course, on green, I do another delay. Let's do echo and verb, which obviously I have, but if you don't have the wet, then you can do that. Update effect number 3, and then I have a scatter on blue and an echo verb on 3. Yeah, 369 looks different now. It's not just a black box with 3 knobs, which frankly, that's what you think. Right behind this, why not? Amazing sound. And on red, I have a Flange. No, I don't. I have a phaser. And it warns me that if I do that, I have to have mix knob on 100%, which I'm doing. Come on. So I go here. No, I am on red. Mix on 100%. I already loaded that. Phaser 0.1. A little bit KHDK. So you ask yourself, why would I need a shimmer when I'm playing distorted? Imagine you're the only guitar player in the band and you want a huge wall of sound. Well, this is without shimmer. That's a killer sound, come on. 2 killer amps with a great pedal. Why not? So if you want the mix knob to be at your foot tips, toe tips, plug in left, which is usually the mix knob. Don't like a phaser anymore on your red sound? Update it to a flangeflungu. Flanger. Let's see what that does. Once it's updated. And then we're pretty much done, because how much more awesomeness do you need? Oh, we're done. If you're not a fan of phasers or flanges, you might become a fan of phasers or flanges with these. Those are sweet! Something's going on with the dogs. I don't know what's happening. Let's talk brass tacks here, people. Neunaber Expanse series with the Expanse something switchy thing. Yes, the price tag for a very simple looking pedal of €269 is quite steep, yet it will not eat up a lot of space on your board. It will give you a lot of options, a lot of sounds. It can be your delay, which it will do brilliantly. It can be your chorus, which sounds lush and wide. It can be your phaser flanger. Amazing reverbs. And if you add another $120, which really isn't too much, it can be 2 presets of each and 4 different effects. You could have 4 different delays with 2 presets each. You could have, well, you get the idea. The software is easy to manipulate. There isn't a lot to do. It's just pick it, put it on. It's a total of 5 minutes getting to know your setup. Put that on there, disconnect it for possibly never putting it back on the computer, and your simple black pedal, or your wet, which again is the same thing if you want it to be, can be a serious, I don't want to say multi-effect because it can only be one thing at a time, but imagine you had 2 of these. You can even control 2 of these with one of the expansion things. I don't know how that works. Maybe then you load both of them up. I don't know. But it's just crazy. And it's unscheinbar in German. You know, unscheinbar. Unassuming. Because you see that on someone's board, you're like, yeah, it's just some black pedal. Maybe his friend put it together. Neunaber, I don't know what that is. And you go like, where does that sound come from? Now let's talk about sounds. You want a vintage tape delay? They're not doing it. You want any kind of vintage emulation, they're not doing it. All the Neunaber effects, even the ones that say there's something that says tape, they're all Neunaber effects. So they're all, to me, digital type of delays. Very clean, very transparent, never get in the way of your guitar. They're all their own. They have the Neunaber handwriting on it. which is brilliant. I don't need another Echoplex. I don't need another analog delay. I want their sound. That's why I'm buying their pedal. And their sound can be huge without trampling on your guitar. I usually have shit to bitch about. In this case, the price tag $269 is steep, but it is justified because the sound quality is as good as it gets. And I have about every single effect there is. I mean, from the Eventides to the Strymons and the Analogy, I have it all here. This is as good as it gets if you like that type of sound. They will give you their interpretation of reverb and delay, and it is brilliant. Very flexible, in a small package, for an acceptable price. Let's call it acceptable. It's not super affordable, but it is absolutely justifiable. Thumbs up from me for the Neunaber Expanse series and the Immerse. Check out the Immerse video. I want to thank the guys from Neunaber and Sean Pierce Johnson who hooked me up with them. Sean Pierce Johnson, Stompbox Saturdays, check it out. His YouTube channel is called Sean Pierce Johnson. Really cool pedal guy, knows his shit. That's it from me. Thumbs up for these things. Get your hands on them, try them. You will be hooked. See ya.